What do your unstructured ideas and this plain piece of paper have in common? They're shapeless, they'll crash land, but one tiny shift can make them fly. Let me show you the secret behind powerful communication. It is not talent, it's structure. Watch this video. What am I holding? Paper. A plain piece of paper, right? Now the same piece of paper, but one flies and the other one crash lands. And my fellow Toastmasters, that's the power of structure in your communication. You know, here's the problem. When we have our messages, our ideas, they're like this plain piece of paper initially. They're flat, they're unshaped, they're scattered. And then I wonder, how come my message did not land? In fact, it did land, it crash landed. But when you apply structure, let me give you a couple of examples. Like the story arc, which is the beginning, the middle, and the end. One of my favorite persuasive structure, what, so what, now what? If you're giving an executive update, this is one of the best. I think this is the Swiss Army knife of all structures. And if you're up here for a table topic, you can use a simple structure called prep. What's your point? What's the reason behind that point? Is there an example that you can deliver? You know, with that point, it could be anything, even an anecdote, and then conclude with the point again. When you give structure to your message, it's like making these little tiny folds. Each fold allows your message to go further. Now you're not speaking, you're guiding. I would argue, in fact, like this plane, you're gliding. So why does structure matter? I'll give you only one reason. Because the human brain craves patterns. The human brain craves patterns. Why does patterns matter? Because it helps us relax. It builds trust. You know what to expect next. After a problem, this guy's going to talk about solution. After what, he's going to talk about so what patterns. Imagine going on a road trip without a GPS. You'll go round and round and round. That's what happens when your message is not structured. But with a GPS, you exactly know what to expect. When to turn left, when to turn right. That's what structure does for your audience. They know exactly what to expect. No speech is complete without an example. Let me give you a quick one. Last week, I actually was in an elevator with an RBC executive, and he said to me, "Hey, Brian, what are you up to?" Now, in my head, I was like, well, I'm a public speaker, I'm a content creator, I'm a coach, I do a lot of other things on the side. I was like, oh my God, I'm rambling in my head. So instead, I said, what does he care about? And can I put it in a structure? And then it came to me. I was like, hey, do you know how most people struggle when they're put on the spot or when they're supposed to deliver a message in front of a large audience? Well, guess what I do? I help them to go from being nervous to notice by using just simple techniques, which I learned in mindfulness, storytelling techniques, and I show them ways they can connect with the audience. All of this while keeping my last name in mind. She's like, what is your last name? Fernandez. Fun! It has to be funny. And I feed them a lot of sugar. He's like, really? Yes, because they have to remember me, right? That was just a joke. And then I concluded and I said, listen, just last month, I delivered 2 workshops, one with RBC and one with Zeidler Architects. In the RBC workshop, I helped people or IT professionals turn boring, dull information into important or emotive stories. And guess what he said? Any guesses? We should connect. And I was like, oh my God, this thing actually works. Here is my last P of the prep. Structure works. It makes not only your message, but also you fly.